Can just 5 minutes of real rest help your brain? What if the answer to feeling better, thinking clearer, and living more peacefully wasn't found in a huge life overhaul, but in something as small and simple as 5 minutes? In a world that tells us to hustle, multitask, and stay constantly plugged in, the idea that just 5 minutes of real rest could make meaningful difference seems almost too good to be true. But science and personal experience both tell us something powerful. The brain doesn't need hours of silence to start healing. It just needs a chance to pause. Just 5 intentional minutes, free from screens, noise, decisions, and pressure, can interrupt the cycle of mental fatigue and begin to restore clarity, calm, and energy. In those 5 minutes, your overworked brain gets the signal that it's safe to slow down. Your nervous system begins to shift from stress to balance. Your breath deepens. Your heartbeat steadies, your thoughts untangle, and most importantly, you reconnect with yourself, not the busy, overthinking version of you, but the peaceful presence that lives underneath the noise. We often underestimate small things, thinking they're too minor to matter, but imagine the ripple effect of giving yourself 5 mindful minutes each day. Over time, those moments build up like drops of water filling a well. 5 minutes of real rest. Whether through breathing deeply, sitting in silence, lying down with your eyes closed, listening to soft music, or gazing out a window without any goal, can create the space your brain desperately needs to recover from constant stimulation. It's not about doing nothing. It's about doing the most important thing, letting go. In those 5 minutes, your brain detoxes from information overload, your body releases tension, and your mind gets a break from decision-making. You don't need to escape your life to find relief. You just need to slow down long enough to let relief find you. The beauty of 5 minutes is that it's always available. You don't need a special room, expensive tools, or hours of free time. You just need permission from yourself. And once you experience how powerful a short, focused pause can be, you'll stop waiting for weekends or vacations to feel better. You'll know that peace, clarity, and restoration are always within reach, in even the smallest pockets of stillness. So what if just 5 minutes could change everything? The truth is, it can. And once you give your brain those minutes consistently, you'll wonder how you ever lived without them. Because sometimes the most meaningful change doesn't start with doing more. It starts with doing less, and doing it with presence, care, and intention. Chapter 1. Redefining Rest. It's not about time, it's about quality. When most people think about rest, they picture hours of free time, long vacations, full nights of sleep, lazy weekends without responsibility. And while those things can certainly help, true rest doesn't depend on how much time you have. It depends on how deeply you allow yourself to let go. Real rest is not measured in hours. It's measured in presence, intention, and the quality of the pause you give yourself. You could sit on the couch for an hour, scrolling through your phone or worrying about what's next, and feel just as drained as before. On the other hand, just 5 mindful minutes of pure, focused rest, where you step away from the noise, unplug your thoughts, and simply be, can feel like a reset button for your entire system. That's because quality rest allows your brain to stop processing, reacting, solving, or planning, and instead enter a healing state where clarity, calm, and renewal can begin to take root. Redefining rest means letting go of the idea that you need to earn it or that it only counts if it's long and uninterrupted. Rest isn't a reward for finishing your to-do list. It's the fuel that helps you manage that list in the first place. Even 5 minutes can give your brain the space to recalibrate, especially if you use that time intentionally. Step outside and breathe fresh air. Sit in silence and feel the ground beneath you. Close your eyes and listen to soft music or your heartbeat. Let your shoulders drop and your jaw unclench. These micro moments may seem small, but inside your brain, something powerful is happening. Your nervous system starts to regulate. Your stress response calms down. Mental chatter slows. You begin to shift from survival mode to a state of safety and awareness, even if only briefly. And that shift is what your brain truly craves. This new way of looking at rest also gives you freedom. You don't have to wait until the weekend or vacation to feel okay. You can create moments of restoration in between meetings, while waiting in line, during your lunch break, or before bed. It's not about escaping life. It's about learning how to return to yourself within it. The quality of your rest depends on how fully you're willing to be present in the pause, not on how long it lasts. So the next time you say, "I don't have time to rest," remember, what your brain needs is not more time. It's better care. And even in just 5 quiet minutes, that care can change everything. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to pause and to believe that you are worthy of rest right here, right now. Chapter 2. What happens to the brain after just 5 minutes of rest? It may sound unbelievable, but just 5 minutes of real, intentional rest can begin to change the way your brain functions and how you feel. When you take even a short pause from constant thinking, reacting, and doing, your brain shifts gears almost instantly. Instead of running in high alert mode, managing tasks, scanning for threats, or processing endless input, it transitions into a calmer, more restorative state. Within minutes, your sympathetic nervous system, the fight-or-flight response, starts to deactivate, and your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system, takes over. Your heart rate begins to slow, blood pressure lowers, cortisol, the stress hormone, decreases, and your muscles start to relax. Even more impressively, your default mode network, the part of the brain associated with reflection, creativity, and emotional processing, begins to activate. This allows your brain to gently reorganize thoughts, regulate emotions, and clear mental clutter. Neurologically speaking, those few minutes of stillness create a ripple effect. Your prefrontal cortex, the brain's decision-making and self-control center, becomes more active, helping you regain focus and emotional clarity. Meanwhile, overactive regions, linked to fear and stress, like the amygdala, start to quiet down. This means that in just 5 minutes of genuine rest, you're not just relaxing, you're actually rewiring your brain to be more balanced, more focused, and more resilient. If practiced regularly, These short breaks can reduce chronic stress, improve sleep, boost memory, and even enhance mood and creativity over time. It's like giving your brain a gentle reset, clearing out the static, so your thoughts can flow more freely and your inner calm can rise to the surface. These benefits don't require silence in a forest or perfect conditions. You can sit at your desk, step outside, lie down, or close your eyes in a quiet room. What matters most is the intention behind your rest. If you truly allow your brain to let go, even briefly, it begins healing from the pressure of non-stop input. These short resets are especially important in modern life, where the brain is bombarded with information and rarely gets a moment of silence. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed, foggy, or emotionally off balance, try this. Pause for 5 minutes. Put down your phone. Breathe slowly. Let your thoughts drift without grabbing onto them. In that short time, your brain will begin to recover its strength, clarity, and calm. You'll feel more like yourself. Not because the world has changed, but because your brain finally had a moment to rest. And that, even in just 5 minutes, can make all the difference. Chapter 3. Tiny Pause, Big Benefits, Mental Clarity and Focus. In a world full of noise, distractions, and constant demands, it's easy for your mind to feel foggy, scattered, or pulled in 1,000 directions. But here's the powerful truth. Even a tiny pause, just 5 quiet, intentional minutes, can help your brain regain mental clarity and focus. Think of your brain like a snow globe. When it's shaken, everything inside is cloudy and you can't see clearly. But when you let it sit still for a few moments, the swirling settles and clarity returns. That's exactly what happens inside your mind when you stop, breathe, and rest, even briefly. 5 minutes may seem too short to make a difference, but neuroscience tells us that this brief window is enough to calm the chaos in your brain and help restore order to your thoughts. During these short moments of pause, the brain gets a break from multitasking, and that's when your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logical thinking, concentration, and decision-making, starts to re-engage more effectively. By resting your mind, even for just a few minutes, you stop the constant flood of stimulation and allow your mental energy to reset. Your focus becomes sharper because your brain isn't wasting resources trying to juggle everything at once. Instead of feeling like you're drowning in tasks, you can start to see what actually matters, what can wait, and what you want to give your attention to next. This tiny pause improves your working memory, the ability to hold and manipulate information, which is crucial for staying organized and productive. And because real rest reduces mental fatigue, you'll find it easier to concentrate, make decisions, and complete tasks with less stress and more ease. Over time, practicing these brief rests helps your brain build cognitive endurance, meaning you're able to stay focused longer and recover from distractions more quickly. Tiny pauses also help break the cycle of mindless reactivity. Instead of constantly jumping from task to task or from thought to thought, you begin to work from a place of intentional response. That shift alone can transform your day from feeling overwhelming to feeling doable. And the beauty is, you don't need a fancy routine to do it. You can close your eyes at your desk, step outside, and feel the sun on your face. Breathe deeply while waiting in line. Sit in silence before checking your messages. These tiny choices practiced daily strengthen your mental muscles and create space for clarity and calm to grow. In a busy world, 5 minutes may feel small, but the benefits are enormous. It's not about doing more. It's about thinking more clearly, acting with focus, and finding the mental freedom to enjoy the moment you're in. Because when your brain is rested, even briefly, your thoughts become clearer, your energy more focused, and your mind more powerfully present. Chapter 4. Emotional Relief, Calming the Storm Within. Emotions can sometimes feel like waves crashing over you, sudden, overwhelming, and impossible to control. One moment you're fine, and the next you're anxious, frustrated, sad, or completely drained without knowing why. But what if just 5 minutes of intentional rest could calm that emotional storm? It might sound too simple, but science and personal experience both reveal a powerful truth. Your brain and nervous system are deeply connected, and when your mind slows down, your emotions begin to settle too. When you're constantly rushing, reacting, and absorbing pressure from the world around you, your brain remains on high alert, triggering your amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for emotional responses, especially fear and stress. This keeps your body flooded with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which can make your feelings feel bigger and harder to manage. You get stuck in reactive mode, where even small problems feel enormous. But taking just 5 minutes to rest, breathe, and pause breaks this cycle. It signals to your brain that you're safe, which begins to lower stress levels and soothe the emotional storm from within. In those few minutes of calm, something remarkable happens. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that helps you regulate emotions, think logically, and respond with intention, comes back online. Suddenly, the same emotion that felt overwhelming becomes something you can hold, rather than something that controls you. You don't need to fight the feeling, explain it away, or bury it. You simply give yourself permission to be with it, without judgment. Maybe you sit quietly and breathe, feeling the tension in your chest slowly release. Maybe you place your hand over your heart, offering yourself the compassion you need. Maybe you step outside for a few moments, letting the breeze carry away the weight you've been holding. These small acts of rest are not about running from emotions. They're about making space for healing, softness, and clarity. The beauty of these short emotional resets is that they build inner resilience. When practiced regularly, even for just a few minutes a day, they teach your brain how to return to peace more quickly and with less effort. You start to feel less like a passenger on a roller coaster of feelings and more like the steady ground beneath it all. You realize that you don't have to suppress your emotions to survive. You simply need to care for the mind that holds them. In these brief but powerful moments, you remember that emotions are not emergencies. They are signals, messengers, and waves that eventually pass. And when your brain has time to rest, your heart has time to breathe. So the next time your emotions feel too big to handle, don't push them away or drown in them. Instead, pause. Give yourself 5 sacred minutes. Let stillness settle in. Because sometimes the most powerful way to calm the storm within is not to fight it, but to stop, rest, and let the winds quiet down on their own. Chapter 5. Healing the Body with the Mind. Physical Effects of Short Rest. We often think of healing as something that happens with medicine, nutrition, or sleep. But one of the most overlooked healing tools lives quietly within you. Your mind at rest. Incredibly, even just 5 minutes of true mental rest can send signals throughout your entire body that promote real, measurable healing. When you pause and give your brain a break from its usual state of stress, pressure, and constant alertness, your body follows suit. This is because your brain and body are in constant communication through your nervous system. When the brain slows down, your parasympathetic nervous system, often called the rest and digest system, activates. Your heart rate decreases, blood pressure lowers, breathing deepens, muscles relax, tension releases, inflammation reduces, and your body shifts from survival mode into a state of repair. This isn't just a moment of feeling good, it's a moment when your body begins to heal. In just a few minutes of calm, your body receives a wave of benefits. Your immune system gets stronger because stress hormones like cortisol no longer suppress its function. Your digestive system becomes more active, helping your body process nutrients more efficiently. Even your cellular repair functions improve as your brain and body work together to recover from physical and emotional strain. This is why practices like meditation, breathing exercises, and mindfulness, even when done for just a few minutes, have been shown to improve sleep, lower the risk of heart disease, ease chronic pain, and reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. It's not about doing a lot. It's about doing it deeply. When your brain shifts into a state of rest, your body begins to release the tight grip it's been holding under stress. You might be surprised at how much can change in just 5 peaceful minutes. A pounding headache can ease. Your clenched jaw can soften. That tightness in your chest can begin to melt away. And the constant fatigue you've been carrying? It can lift even a little simply because your body is no longer fighting the storm of stress chemistry. The key is consistency. One moment of rest is a step, but repeated short rests throughout the day, before meals, between tasks, or before sleep, become part of a lifestyle that supports healing from the inside out. This is how you use the power of your own mind to care for your body, not through willpower, but through kindness and stillness. So often we believe that to feel better we need to do more, run farther, sleep longer, fix faster. But sometimes the most healing thing you can do is pause, just for 5 minutes, just to breathe, just to be. Because when your mind rests, your body hears that it's safe, and that safety is what opens the door to healing. No equipment, no cost, no waiting, just you, your breath, and a moment of peace that reminds your body how to feel whole again. In those small, quiet windows, you'll find not only calm, but the beginning of true, deep restoration. Chapter 6. How to make 5 minutes count. Rest techniques that work. When life feels fast, messy, and overwhelming, 5 minutes might seem like a drop in the ocean. But when used with purpose, 5 minutes of real rest can become a powerful daily reset, like a warm exhale for your brain and body. The secret lies in how you rest, not just how long. To make 5 minutes count, you must engage in rest that is intentional, present, and undistracted. This means choosing activities that quiet the mind, slow the breath, and signal safety to your nervous system. One of the most effective techniques is deep, mindful breathing, where you inhale slowly through your nose, hold for a few seconds, and exhale gently through your mouth. Just a few rounds of conscious breathing can reduce anxiety, lower cortisol levels, and activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Another powerful method is body scanning. Closing your eyes and bringing your awareness gently from the top of your head down to your toes, noticing and releasing any areas of tension. This helps reconnect your mind with your body and creates a grounding effect, perfect for short rest. Visualization is another technique that can bring immediate calm. Picture a peaceful place, a quiet beach, a forest path, or a cozy room. Imagine the sights, sounds, and sensations in as much detail as possible. This mental imagery gives your brain a break from reality's stressors and replaces it with soothing, healing experiences. For those who prefer movement, gentle stretching or slow walking without distractions can be deeply restorative. Feel your feet connect with the ground. Let your muscles relax with each motion. You don't need to reach a destination. You're simply giving your body and mind space to unwind. And if you're short on energy or feel emotionally heavy, simply sitting in silence with your hand on your heart, breathing slowly and whispering something kind to yourself like, "I am safe," or "This moment is enough," can shift your entire mood and nervous system. These are not passive acts. They are active steps toward healing, presence, and emotional reset. To make these techniques work, consistency is key. Choose one or two that resonate with you and commit to practicing them daily, maybe first thing in the morning, during a midday break, or right before sleep. You can even set reminders on your phone to pause and breathe. Over time, your brain begins to associate these small breaks with safety, peace, and restoration. And as your nervous system learns to return to calm more easily, 5 minutes will start to feel longer and more powerful. These mini moments of stillness can help prevent burnout, improve emotional control, and boost your ability to concentrate, all without requiring you to step away from your life for hours. So the next time you feel overwhelmed or overstimulated, resist the urge to push through. Instead, pause, even for just 5 minutes. Close your eyes, soften your breath, and choose a technique that makes you feel supported. These moments may feel small, but they are acts of self-respect. They remind your brain that rest is not weakness, it's wisdom. With just 5 minutes a day, you can build a habit of healing, one breath, one pause, one mindful moment at a time. Chapter 7. The Compounding Power of Small Moments. We often believe that big changes require big actions, but when it comes to healing the brain, calming the mind, and restoring energy, it's the small moments, repeated over time, that create the most lasting transformation. Just like compound interest builds wealth little by little, 5 minutes of real rest, practiced consistently, compounds into mental strength, emotional balance, and physical wellness. At first, a single pause might feel insignificant, a tiny breath in a day filled with noise. But if you make those 5 minutes a habit, pausing between meetings, resting before bed, breathing in the morning light, your brain begins to recognize a new rhythm. It learns how to return to calm more easily, how to recover from stress more quickly, and how to protect itself from becoming overwhelmed. This is the compounding power of small, intentional moments. They don't just offer relief in the moment, they train your nervous system for long-term resilience. Each time you pause, even briefly, you are wiring your brain to experience the world differently. Instead of reacting with panic, your mind learns to pause and reflect. Instead of spiraling into anxiety, you learn how to self-soothe and ground yourself. These micro moments build inner trust. You start to believe in your ability to handle stress, not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger. It's like planting tiny seeds of peace throughout your day. At first, they're barely noticeable. But with regular care, those 5 minutes of deep breathing, quiet reflection, or mindful stillness, they grow into a life that feels more centered, more manageable, and more aligned with your true self. And the best part is, it doesn't require dramatic changes. No long retreats, no perfect conditions, just a commitment to pause and care for your mind again and again until it becomes your new normal. Over time, these short practices add up to big shifts. Your sleep improves, your energy lasts longer, your patience expands, your focus sharpens. You begin to move through the day with a steady calm instead of constant tension. You feel less controlled by circumstances and more anchored in your own presence. And you realize something beautiful. Peace isn't found in doing everything right. It's found in remembering to return to yourself, even just for a moment. That's the miracle of compounding rest. It honors the fact that you are human, not a machine, that you don't need hours to make progress. You only need moments, repeated with love and intention. And those moments, as small as they seem, are enough to change your brain, your body, and the way you experience life. 5 minutes, taken seriously and offered consistently, becomes the quiet foundation of a calmer, clearer, and more powerful you. Final chapter. You have the power to pause. At the very core of it all lies a simple, life-changing truth. You have the power to pause. In a world that rushes forward, pushing you to go faster, try harder, and stay constantly connected, choosing to pause, even for just 5 minutes, is a radical and healing act. It's easy to feel like rest is something that happens only when everything is finished, when the to-do list is cleared, or when life finally slows down. But the truth is, life rarely slows down on its own. Instead, you must be the one to slow down within it. And that's where your power begins. Every time you give yourself a moment of real rest, a moment to breathe, to feel, to return to yourself, you are not wasting time. You are reclaiming it. You are reminding your brain that it doesn't have to run on stress to function, and that stillness is not weakness, but wisdom. These pauses may seem small, but they build something extraordinary, a life that is led not by urgency, but by awareness. When you choose to pause, you shift the direction of your day. You open space for clarity when you feel lost, for calm when emotions surge, and for creativity when your mind feels stuck. You restore balance to your body, giving your nervous system a break from fight or flight and inviting it into rest and heal. You teach yourself over time that you are not at the mercy of the world's pace. You can move in alignment with your own. The beauty of this practice is that it belongs entirely to you. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need hours of free time. All you need is 5 quiet minutes and a willingness to turn inward. Whether you're standing in line, sitting at your desk, walking outside, or lying in bed, you have the power to pause, to close your eyes, inhale slowly, exhale gently, and return to a place of inner steadiness. This power is not something distant or difficult to reach. It lives in your breath, in your body, in your choice to be present, and the more you use it, the more natural it becomes. Over time, you begin to live less in reaction and more in reflection, less in exhaustion, more in ease. And you realize that peace doesn't come from escaping life. It comes from learning how to be within it, grounded, aware, and at ease with yourself. This journey you've taken, learning how 5 minutes of real rest can help your brain, has been about far more than relaxation. It's about reconnection with your mind, your body, your emotions, and your sense of control. You are no longer just surviving your days. You are shaping them, one calm moment at a time. So let this be your closing message and your new beginning. You have the power to pause. Use it often. Use it gently. Use it when you're tired, when you're overwhelmed, when you're uncertain, and even when you're feeling okay. Because that's when it strengthens you most. These moments of rest are yours. And when you claim them, you claim something even greater. The ability to move through life with peace, purpose, and presence. And that, more than anything, is the true power of 5 mindful minutes.